Okay, so this is a Stamp Fairtex versus Alyona Rassohyna, and this is actually a rematch from a previous fight that where Stamp pretty much controlled the fight, but ended up tapping late, and there was she had kind of protested that she didn't tap, but you can't do something that looks like a tap in a fight and get away with it, and she didn't. So got Stamp Fairtex on the back here from Thailand. She's a Muay Thai kickboxing world champion, but jiu-jitsu game has really come along. She trains with DJ Jackson, and obviously he's a great coach from the US, and her ground game has come a long way. And then you have Alyona Rassohyna from Ukraine, who's more like a submission specialist. And she had Stamp in some trouble again. You'll see here she gets her in a pretty deep armbar after she gets out of this back situation. And this was a really a big important fight for Stamp, because she had, obviously she had lost both her titles and won, and she had lost her previous fight to Rassohyna. So you see she had a lot of determination to win this fight, and showed great defense to the arm lock, to get out of that. That was extremely deep, and Rassohyna didn't give up on it right away, so Stamp had to keep fighting it, and she ended up getting out of it. And Rassohyna continued to try and attack her with some other submissions, leg lock and whatnot, but ultimately Stamp ended up getting the decision. This was another fight that was highly contested, so there were some people who felt that maybe Stamp didn't win the fight, and that Rassohyna should have been the one that advanced. But ultimately it ended up being Stamp that would advance in this tournament, and it's going to be interesting to see who they match her up against in the next round. As I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, was that one was going to let the fans decide who the semifinal matchups are going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see how Stamp gets matched up, because you kind of have two, I would say, more grappling oriented fighters, and you have two striking oriented fighters in the final four. So I would think they are going to match up the two strikers and the two grapplers, but we'll have to see if that's what actually comes to fruition in the situation. Those of you that are watching this tournament, who do you think is going to win? What do you think the chances are of Stamp winning? Stamp's probably the one who's under the most pressure, because she seems to be the most popular fighter in one's atomweight division. So